Then shall stand up in his estate a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom. But within few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. But he shall come in peaceably, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant.
In the last video, we saw that Rome entered the war between the south and the north. They threw their weight behind Ptolemy Epiphanes, the 4-year-old pharaoh. A couple of generations later, the alliance shifted to conquest, when in 47 BC, Julius Caesar conquered Egypt. Some historians posit that Julius took Egypt so that he and Cleopatra could rule jointly and secure a kingdom for their illegitimate son. When Julius Caesar's influence began to wane, she left him for Mark Antony, and when Caesar returned to Rome, Cassius, Brutus and others stabbed him to death. Verse 20, Then shall stand up in his, Julius Caesar's, estate, a raiser of taxes. Augustus Caesar succeeded his uncle, Julius Caesar. He joined forces with Mark Antony and Lepidus to avenge the death of Caesar. They, three, formed the second triumvirate government. Incidentally, Mark Antony knew of the plot to kill Julius Caesar and did nothing to warn him. At the time, he had an affair with Cleopatra. When Antony went to Egypt to formalize his relationship with Cleopatra, Augustus declared them traitors to the throne. In 31 BC, Augustus defeated Antony and Cleopatra in the Battle of Actium. In despair, Antony committed suicide, and Cleopatra committed suicide during Augustus's 3-day celebration of the conquest of Egypt. After Antony's death, Augustus stripped Lepidus of his office, and when he died in 13 BC, Augustus Caesar became the supreme ruler of Rome. Luke 2 verse 1, Dr. Luke opens the chapter by saying, And it came to pass in those days, that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. Augustus was the most exacting tax collector that Rome has ever seen. Inasmuch, all peoples had to go to their own city to be taxed. For this cause, Joseph went to Bethlehem to pay his taxes, as he was of the house and lineage of David, the tribe of Judah. In such an hour, Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judah. Historians often referred to this period as the Augustan Age, to denote the golden age of Roman history. Historians state that peace was promoted, justice maintained, luxury curbed, discipline established, and learning encouraged. Daniel 11 verse 20 concludes by saying that he, Augustus, shall be destroyed, neither in anger, nor in battle. Augustus went to Nola in Italy when his health failed. In AD 14, Augustus Caesar died in his bed. He was 75 years old. Verse 21, Gabriel continues by saying that in his, Augustus Caesar's, estate, shall stand up a vile, a revolting or disgusting person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. When Augustus Caesar was about to appoint an heir to the throne, his wife Livia besought him to nominate Tiberius, her son by a previous marriage. To which Augustus replied, Your son is too vile to wear the purple of Rome, and the nomination was given to Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, a more respectable Roman citizen. But the prophecy states that a vile person shall stand in Augustus's estate. Agrippa died of unknown circumstances in 12 BC, at age 50. Livia renewed her intercessions for Tiberius, and Augustus, weakened by age and sickness, was more easily flattered, and finally consented to nominate, as his companion and successor, that vile young man. And as per prophecy, the citizens did not give him the respect and honor of the kingdom due to an upright and faithful king. Verse 21 continues, He, Tiberius, would obtain the kingdom with flatteries. While Augustus was alive, Tiberius behaved wisely. He portrayed himself to be a servant of the state, and won the Senate's favor, hence obtaining the kingdom by flatteries. And speaking to Tiberius's vile nature, when Livia, his mother, died, Tiberius's true nature emerged. Jealous of Germanicus Caesar's popularity, he conspired with Piso, whom he appointed governor of Syria, and Germanicus's wife, and they poisoned Germanicus Caesar, his adopted son and the grandson of Mark Antony. Piso committed suicide before he could be tried for murder. When Tiberius learned that his best friend and bodyguard, Sejanus, had an illicit affair with Drusus Julius Caesar's wife, Livilla, he conspired with Sejanus to have Drusus killed. Sejanus seduced Livilla, and she poisoned Drusus. Now that Drusus Caesar was dead, Sejanus wanted to marry Livilla, but Tiberius prevented it. Tiberius grew jealous of Sejanus's favor with the Senate. He executed Sejanus, his best friend, and all his children. When Sejanus's former wife, Apicata, heard of this, she committed suicide. Tiberius handed Livilla over to her mother Antonia, who locked her up in a room and starved her to death. Thus, Tiberius removed the rest of the triumvirate and those who caused their death. He reigned supreme. Verse 22 can be read thusly, "And the arms of the overflower shall be overflown from before him, and shall be broken." That is, the overflower, Tiberius, will be overflown. He shall suffer a violent death. Tiberius devolved into a season of drunkenness, excessive partying, bisexuality and out-of-control behavior. His health declined, and ever the hypocrite, he gave the impression that he was healthy. Germanicus's son, Gaius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, also known as Caligula, was making preparations to overthrow Tiberius. Caligula had Macro, his prefect or captain, assassinate Tiberius. Macro suffocated Tiberius with a pillow. Verse 22 ends by stating that not only Tiberius was broken, but also the Prince of the Covenant. The Prince of the Covenant unquestionably refers to Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Prince, who, as we saw when we discussed the 70-week prophecy, was to confirm the covenant one prophetic week with his people. Having taken us down to the death of Tiberius, Gabriel points out that Christ would be crucified under Tiberius's watch. Pontius Pilate, who was appointed by Tiberius, approved the crucifixion of Christ in the spring of 31 AD. Tiberius died 6 years late in 37 AD. He was 78 years old.